Hello and welcome to Monkey Broadcast, our monthly review discussion show with me, the Jonin Monkey.
And me, Sven the Crusader.
And here we are in the month of September, where nothing interesting happens. Apart from some people have to go back to school, or some people reminisce about what it was like to be in school.
I am in neither category, so this is good.
Good for you. Enough of this crappy intro. It's now time for us to move on to our first section, which is Q&A! As you can guess from the title, this is where we answer a question sent to us by our fans and subscribers. If you would like us to answer your own questions, please send them to us via YouTube PMs or leave a comment on this video. This Q&A section is going to be short as we only have 2 questions, although to be fair, this is partially my fault considering I only gave the bulletin out 2 days beforehand. Our first question comes from Trainman666 and his question is, have you gotten a chance to play the new Sonic Generations? If so, what are your thoughts on it?
No. I have not.
Fair enough. I presume he means the demo, and my answer to that question would be nope. Unfortunately, I do not have any of the systems the demo's played on. However, I have been following some tidbits closely, and to be honest, I am looking forward to it. I've already mentioned before that some of the stuff, like City Escape being included, already got me excited, but the more stuff I hear about it, the more intrigued I am, because, first off, it's been confirmed that the story for this game will be written by the same guys who wrote Sonic Colors, so that already has got me in a positive mood, because Sonic Colors did have some flaws, like the humor was a bit hit and miss, but it was a really enjoyable story overall, and I would much prefer it over the stuff we saw in, say, 06. So,
or Chronicles.
I will snap your neck in a moment. The point is...
My pleasure.
I'm really happy that those writers are back, and there's also an interesting twist that apparently, for those who don't know, Sonic Generations is based around the current Sonic meeting up with the Sonic of the past, and past Sonic, because he's based on the Genesis/Mega Drive games, won't talk at all. He'll communicate entirely with mime while everyone else has a voice, so it's... that alone is going to create some interesting scenes, I can tell.
Yeah, that's okay then.
Yeah, the short answer is no, but from what I've seen, I'm looking forward to it. Although, there are still some people who are going to complain, because when I found that article, I could see that the majority, like me, were happy that the writers of Sonic Colors had come back. There were 1 or 2 who were whining and moaning about everything, because, to be honest, there are still people who will doggedly defend the storylines of the adventure games and 06.
Yeah.
They just absolutely despise any attempts to focus on humor and not give a Shonen-esque story, but frankly, whilst I can understand liking that more than the humorous approach, to be honest, that style produced a lot more failures than it did successes, and frankly, I'm really glad that Sonic's moving away from that.
And furthermore, it's shonen storyline styling here. Shonen. The genre that gave us One Piece and Naruto.
Let's not forget Bleach as well.
Well, I don't quite include that in the ones that are just unspeakably bad, because this is really my grading system for shonen anime, just to get a little off topic here. To be better than Bleach, you have to have a consistent redeeming points that aren't overshadowed any character. To be better than Naruto, you have to have consistent redeeming points that don't give up halfway through. To be better than One Piece, you have to have redeeming features.
I see. You know what? It's only just occurred to me that in this one question, we've just entailed the wrath of several fan bases.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I already had one person getting angry at me because I mentioned that One Piece didn't have a good continuity. But anyway, we're getting really off topic here, so let's move on to our next question.
Our next question comes from SpyroCrash19. I got your name right this time. What is your favorite video game story?
Oh god.
Do you have a couple years?
Yeah, well, the thing is, I've never really been a fan of just sort of picking one moment. I mean, even when I have to list games, like, in an order, I still kind of do it begrudgingly, because I like them all for different reasons, and it's the same here. I mean, it depends what you're trying to get out of the story, first off. I mean, what makes a good video game story, it's not just the kind of universal thing, like, oh, if you just do this, no matter what the game is, it'll be great. No, it just doesn't work like that. I mean, there are some games where you've got less time to develop a character, in which case just having the story be fun is an important element, and there are times like RPGs where I expect them to take their time and develop the characters more, you know, it's just not feasible to just say this one video game story stands out amongst all video game stories, because, you know, they're good for different reasons and they have got different constraints on them, frankly.
Yeah, I see what you mean, and like I said, it would take me years to figure all of them out and begrudgingly actually number them, so I'm not really quite sure how to reciprocate this question, to be a bit wordy.
Yeah, I guess all I can really do is mention a couple of favourites of mine. Out of the games I've played, because that's another thing about this, there is so many games out there. Part of the reason why I'm really enjoying doing VGT, because when people recommend stuff to me, it encourages me to go out and look for games and stories that I never would have looked at otherwise. But generally I'd say some of my favourite stories, Tales of Symphonia is pretty enjoyable, as was Tales of Innocence, even if there were one or two elements I found grating that. Platform style, Donkey Kong Country 2 provided a good amount of motivation and returns on some fun moments, and this Sonic Adventure 2 I kind of like. See, Sonic fans, I can be fair. And Sonic Colors, which I also enjoyed, and Klonoa. I'd always say that Klonoa 1 and 2 had some really, really good storytelling for a platform game. Oh yeah, Mass Effect, the world of that was really well thought out.
Funny you should mention that.
Yeah, I figured I'd get a positive reaction from you, and I guess also Majora's Mask, I really loved that one, more so than Ocarina of Time. I also really like Wind Waker as well, and I guess Ocarina of Time, well, honestly, I think Ocarina of Time had one really good twist and the rest of it was okay. I'm not saying it's bad, I just think it's been a little bit overrated in recent years.
Yeah, I see what you mean, kind of like what I'm planning on mentioning in my list.
Ooh. Also stuff like in Street Fighter 4, that was also really enjoyable, but... And Solitaire River, I suppose, but yeah, I could go on for ages listing all the stories I like, so... Oh yeah, and Skies of Arcadia, how can I forget that? And Battle 64. Oh god, this could go on forever. Sven, you take over!
Yeah, I'll just list a few of the standouts among the ones that I really like, because there's a lot of them. So if one's not mentioned, it's probably that I'm just not remembering it. So I'll just throw in the Fire Emblem series, Final Fantasy IX, the Mass Effect series, obviously. I'm a fanboy. What else do you expect me to say here? The Dragon Age series, Tales of Symphonia, obviously. I suppose you Fallout games, especially the most recent ones, given how much better they seem to tell a story. And I think that's about a good list here.
Yeah, there are so many games in what I mentioned. In fact, I'm kicking myself that I didn't mention Fire Emblem now.
Well, there's 12 of them, so...
Yeah, that's true. Although, to be fair, worry about... how many is it now? 5 of them made it over here?
7, 8, 9, 10, and Shadow Dragon. So that's 5.
Yeah, that's about 5. Oh, and Pokemon Black, I can't believe I forgot that one. Oh, god.
See what we mean?
Yeah. Oh, and Superstar Saga. Ah!
Yeah, I think now might be a good time to move on before we hear...
So,
as I said, 2 each.
Short version, it's impossible for me to pick one favourite out of the so many stories that are there, but to sum up, if you want a more specific answer, you're gonna have to try and narrow it down a bit, because it's impossible to just pick one out of the many favourites I have. You would have to narrow it down to, say, genre, like what's your favourite fighting game story, what's your favourite platforming game story, what's your favourite RPG story. I think that's the best way to go around it.
Yeah, because otherwise, like we just demonstrated, we could be here for a while.
Indeed, indeed. So, with that rather short Q&A section, we move on to our next section. Movies!